Hello and welcome everyone to a Division 5 playoff match between Bangladesh and UT Austin C. This is an elimination match. This is wild card weekend. The winner of this match will move on to play in the quarterfinals against University de French Comte. So that is actually the number 1 seed in their entire division. So that's going to be a tough matchup for either of these teams, but they will move on and live to fight another day. In fact, quarterfinals is tomorrow, so winner of this will move on and play tomorrow again. So this is going to be a very exciting week, and I'm really excited for this. Jam-packed with a bunch of playoffs matches. And yeah, a lot of teams are going to be going home after today. This pawn, is this hanging? Was it hanging? I don't know. Could we have taken here? This knight takes with check. Maybe bishop check here. Would have won the queen. So didn't take. They castled instead. What's up, Titus? Go Zyle and UT Austin. What's up, Zyle? Good luck in your match. So yeah, I just locked in the bracket for Division 5 because that's this match right here is in Division 5, so you can't predict for that one anymore. There is another division that also started early, but the rest of the brackets you can still fill out. You have another hour to do that for the rest of them, so you can find them there in the links provided in the chat. And the winner of the prediction for each division will get a diamond membership for a month. All right, so looking at this match here, Bangladesh, they got some good players. I think technically they're the lower seed against UT Austin. But this is seed 8 versus seed 9, so this is the closest in terms of seeding. This is Nicholas Firestone, the third board from Austin, against Masharov, who is the second board from Bangladesh, also their team captain. So a little bit of a mismatch. Masharov a bit higher rated. Deciding to take with the pawn here, allowing this bishop check, isolating the pawn. I think maybe taking with one of the pieces would have been better, because now you can't block. If you block with the knight, there's knight takes, and after pawn takes, bishop takes with a fork, and you got to move the king anyway. So king finds its way on f1. Perhaps a questionable decision to take on d4, although to be fair, let's see, knight takes, but yeah, probably better to take with the piece there, but they take with the pawn. King f1. Rook opposite this e1 square. Little pressure on the knight. Queen bishop lined up here. Looking to take a pawn. Maybe a little bit dangerous. But if black goes g6, trying to lock that bishop in, we just sack the bishop. Queen takes, and you got all three of these pawns for the bishop. So white just decides to save the h7 pawn. They could have done so with the move they play in the game, g6, or with h6. G6 perhaps also helping keep this knight at bay. So king goes over to h1. Maybe just trying to get away from the center. I'm not sure. This knight doesn't have a lot of forward moves, but I think if we launch the h pawn, get to h5, really try to bust this open. So instead opting for just h3, maybe just king h2. I don't know. I like the rook on the h file. I still think h4 h5 is a good plan for white. They opted not to do that. So king steps up to h2. They want to get the rook towards the center. They're connecting rooks this way. And now black is bringing the bishop back. I think knight to b4 is a really good move for black, because this bishop not only pinning the knight and staring opposite the king, but also clearing up the b4 square. So white probably should have played a3 to prevent knight b4. They didn't, and now black pounces on this move, which forks the queen and the bishop. So the queen saves herself, maintaining a view of the bishop to recapture if this knight were to take. Instead, bringing the second knight in, offering a trade this way. And actually, if knight takes, there's rook takes first. I guess you'd have to take with the bishop. If you take this way, you lose this guy. Actually, no, the knight defends that. Okay, so they capture back right away. So the rooks are staring at each other. The bishop's hit by the knight. This bishop's a really strong piece for black, pinning the knight. So the matches that will be streamed today, after this one, we immediately go to UC Austin's A team versus Harvard's A team. So that's a Division 1 matchup that we're going to watch. And immediately after that, we're watching UC Berkeley's F team versus Cornell D in Division 10. And then we have an hour break. And then we're going to be watching Caltech versus Central Supelec in Division 3. And then later tonight, there's another match. I believe it's Oberlin. I forget who they're playing against. But that is that's going to be late tonight. That's 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, the Lydiast, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Okay, so black never took on d3, so the bishop saves itself, and now we have a capture of rooks. The bishop takes back, and now the knight's going to have to retreat. Probably here, a little pressure on the d-pawn now. This queen might step up. No, just kicking the knight again. Knight here seems sensible. Hit the bishop. Also, I see we have a result already. Vermin Dorsal going down to Saad. So Saad is the top board from Bangladesh. Let's see how this one played out against the bottom board from Austin. Okay. Yeah. The knight hits the queen, and the queen forgets about the discovery of the rook on the bishop. So there goes a piece. Rook's doubled here. Knight check. Taking the rook. Take the bishop. Rook takes. Yeah, not taking this. Somewhat questionable. And yeah, after this, I mean, this is probably just done anyways. But knight d2 and mate in 2. All right, so back to this game. Let's get the point on the board for Saad, starting the way for the Bangladesh team. 1-0 lead, and now, yeah, a lot of pressure here. Hard to alleviate this, as the queen's defending the bishop. Bishop's pinning the knight. This bishop's tied down to the defense. So the queen steps up. A little pressure on these pieces, but hard for the queen to work together with another piece, right? To contest this bishop. This is a monster bishop for black. Hard to kick this piece out. You would have to bring the rook here. So we'll see. Black in the meantime can go rook here. Yep, there it is. And now the threat is knight to g4. Check. Discovery. Wow, computer's actually suggesting h4 to get the king. I mean, queen will be then like discovered from the bishop move. So like if the king goes to g1 after you seemingly give up a free pawn with check, if they try to win the knight, we have queen takes queen, bishop takes, bishop takes. So you give up a pawn, but you alleviate a lot of pressure. So instead now, yeah, I think even like bishop takes is a really nasty move, because if pawn takes, knight takes with fork. on the king and queen. So bishop takes, king takes. There's no queen check yet. It's close though. It's like you take the knight, bishop takes, then queen check, forcing bishop block. And then you could still sacrifice here, honestly, or you could take with the queen, or you could just push the pawn and win the piece back. The queen takes h4. I'm not sure. Yeah, so they take with the pawn here, and now they're getting forked. Also, really low time for Firestone. Oh, we have another result. Mahmoud won against the top. Oh, that's actually a huge upset win. Masharov now, the leader from Bangladesh, also with a point. We have one last game here with Zahad and Andy. Can Austin survive at least one board from the first round? Or are they going to get swept? Masharov brought the A team today. All right. What's going on here? Offering a trade of knights. Andy's looking fine. White maybe could take actually on f6. I'm not sure. So take here, knight takes. Now knight here, so there's no bishop takes. Put pressure on c3, so knight takes is a thing, but maybe. Oh, so queen takes hits this. I don't know if I would take this anymore because I was hoping to play d4, but even the knight was controlling that. So this pawn's a little dangerous to take, although it does come with tempo from the knight, but maybe not best. Maybe a little precarious. So they do take. Okay, this could be dangerous. The bishop controls this square, so there's no additional. Oh, I was thinking that would be really good, but the rook takes. So what's the plan here? Our bishop's hit. It's defended. There's rook takes, queen takes, queen takes. 2 pieces for the rook. So that's White's threat. And he's got 2 minutes to figure this out. Queen d6 is a good move, actually. Offer queen trade. Is Andy going to find it? Come on, Andy. Your team needs to avoid the sweep. Queen d6 is like the only move. No. So now there's rook takes. We'll see. Does White find that? Does White go for this? I don't know what the rook here does. So 2.5 minutes for White. So rook takes. There's bishop takes. Knight takes, queen takes. So does black insert? So white finds the move. Rook takes c3. But does black insert? Do they grab a pawn first and then capture back? 2 pieces for rook and pawn. Technically even material, but favors the side of 2 pieces for sure. But yeah, you don't want to. I mean, taking is probably fine, but you want to try to get as much material as possible out of your bishop before you lose it. So probably grab here, grab here. There is queen takes here. So maybe you get the pawn back. So taking here right away. And now queen takes here should really be played by white. And now we go rook here and win this pawn, maybe. Is rook c4 a move? I don't know. Oh, fork town? There's queen g4. And then rook here. This is really interesting now. So like, okay, the queen is hit. The queen's got to move. If the queen doesn't go to g4, we can take on h4. Our king is extremely exposed, but we get a piece back and we'll be up in exchange. So maybe leaving the queen on or the bishop on f4 is better than taking the pawn. Maybe this is better. This is a very interesting position. This is a sharp game being played here from these 2 players. So we have a knight sacrifice. So pawn takes, queen takes with check. Or bishop takes. But queen takes probably better. No. So now I'm still looking at this one. Trying to get that guy. Only 30 seconds though for Andy. Andy's down a minute. He does play rook c4. So there's no lining up with discoveries or anything. Queen here we take. So black should be winning the b pawn. Yeah, black should be better. Up in exchange. Queen f5. Perhaps the threat is bishop to f6. Or bishop to e6. But maybe now we have rook here. Or rook here. Only 18 seconds. 15 seconds. Okay, rook g4 is found. Ooh, queen h5 would have been hard to stop. How would you stop that? Well, now you take this guy. But yeah, rook here, queen here. I don't know. Maybe you have to play rook g7 there. Okay, queen back. So black had rook e1 a lot of times to try to trade down. White's just trying to get here. 13 seconds. Pushing the 10 seconds. 11 seconds. So if black goes here, queen takes rook as a threat of checkmate. So this is threatening some checks, but not me. 8 seconds. Queen takes a pawn. Queen check, rook block. There's bishop check, there's queen check, but the king runs. And the rooks are fine. There's rook check now. King running again. There's queen check. King runs. No, queen blocks. Bishop check. Bishop check. There's going to be mate. There's going to be mate. Bishop check. Rook d1 here. And mate. Oh my god. White has a mate in 18 seconds. Oh, they missed it. King over. Queen check. You got to block with the rook. Got to block with the rook. And now bishop here. No. King runs again. Where are the checks? Here, but you can go here. 3 seconds. 2, 1. There's rook d8 check. Queen takes, though. Okay, the rook's hit. Rook saves itself. Bishop goes all the way back. 1 second. 2.9 seconds. Queen here. 2 seconds. 1 second. Oh, Andy in the time pressure couldn't stand the pressure on the board as well. Bangladesh gets the sweep of the first round. And we already have another Austin player in major time pressure. Firestone here. Down to 10 seconds. Looks like white should have mate very soon as well. King in the corner. There's queen mate. No, the queen blocks this. So hold on. Bishop h6. Oh, resigned. Okay. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Saad. Top board from Bangladesh. 2-0. We got Masharov and Verman dorsal. Bangladesh's leader. We also have Andy starting his next game. I don't see Austin's top board playing or Bangladesh's third board, but they should be playing. Unless, I don't know. Unless they already finished, but anyways. Solid opening here from both sides. Both these players around 1400. Oh, let's keep an eye on this one. So let's see how Masharov is doing. Masharov is a streamer, by the way, if you guys want to check out his channel. Looks like we had a fork on the pieces, but the bishop sidesteps, dodges that with a check. Now the knight's coming in here, eyeing up the dark squares. So queen over to help defend. Attacking the knight. If we take the knight, there's d5. En passant. Oh my goodness. Filthy move from Masharov. Saving the piece, so Masharov is up material. Very beautiful sequence. So trading queens off here. Bishop tucks back. Pawn push. Flushes the bishop off this diagonal. There's a very strong diagonal for the bishop. So it would make a lot of sense for Masharov to play a5. He does so. He grabs a pawn here. The knight could be cemented in with a move like a6. But a6 does give up the b6 square. And again, we don't really want the bishop to be there, because then a rook lift at some point, at some stage, could spell disaster for the white king with open h-file. So, bishop comes here, attacks the knight. Knight trades off for the bishop. So now rook takes, hitting this bishop. I'm expecting bishop here. Maybe rook here could be a thing, but bishop comes all the way back, maintaining pressure here. The rooks are doubled for black now. Let's take a look at Andy's game again. So we got the knight hitting the queen. Actually, I think that the bishop could just... Oh no, we take with check. My bad. If the king had castled, bishop takes would be a really strong move. For sure. But the queen steps back, not allowing the check. So now the bishop's hanging. Probably you either trade it or move the knight back. But probably trading makes the most sense here. Back to this game. Both players pretty low on the clock. We got 30 seconds to 11 seconds. So let's see what Masharov comes up with here. He's up a piece. He's got the bishop pair. Maybe just rook e1. It's pretty solid. Really thinking here. Now time's about even. 10 seconds for Masharov. Okay, so he goes king here. Pawn push, and now he goes for e1. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, you could have taken this. You could have taken that first, because the the rook was pinned to the other rook. So this is oh, there's check here now, but king here, there's takes pawn. And now I would go bishop here. Bishop here is a really nasty move. You're attacking this, defending the check, and you're opening up the discovery. So check, there's king here though. I don't know. You don't want to go into discoveries. Oh, bishop takes rook. A gnarly discovery. Probably bishop here is a little bit better, right? To try to distract the bishop, but yeah, Masharov should win this one fairly easily. There's another bishop check. Now going here instead, they want to give checkmate. There it is. Wait, bishop here first. Bishop here. Rook takes. Probably see resign soon, no? Rook takes, the king can run. That's a free pawn. That's another free pawn. Well, not free, I guess, but yeah, pawn push. You could make a queen. Going up to the last two pawns. Just don't stalemate. There could be some weird stalemate trickery. Some stalemate sorcery. He's fighting on. I mean, this is a playoff game. Every point counts. You get a miracle point, you could be the hero of your team. And right now, UT Austin needs something. They need a hero. Cheyenne, thank you for the follow. Welcome. There's bishop check. What up, Sammy? Good to see you, my bug house partner. Hey, king here. Or king here. Rook all the way over. Oh. This is also pretty good too. Alright, GG. Masharov not falling for any tricks. Advances to 2 for 2. We've got Andy's game here. Sammy, you got to tell Central Florida to register again in the spring season. We'll get you doing some commentary with Martin or me. I mean, imagine the and Kiani. I mean, really, the possibilities are endless. You got to tell Kevin and the rest of the squad to gear up, because the season's going to be underway anytime now. Are you covering any D2 matches today? That's a great question. I don't believe any of them rescheduled. Yeah, you'll get Kevin into shape, dude. I tried talking to Kevin. Kevin's like, sorry, man, we gotta get out of there. Okay, so the rook can move with discovery on the queen, but I don't think there's any good ones. Okay, so yeah, rook takes knight is a threat, even without the discovery, because the knight's just simply hanging. This pawn's also hanging. I think bishop b4 is a move. This defends the knight, and it also pretty much forces rook to d7. So, okay, the queen just hangs the knight. So that was an unfortunate move there from Andy. Yeah, this guy needed some love and appreciation there, and he was neglected. So bishop to f4 pins the rook, though. There is a trade. I guess you just take back. So rook takes. Yeah, that's somewhat annoying to deal with. There is knight takes e4, though. Anti-speciesism. Are you guys playing at the default time? If you ask your opponents to play at like 3 p.m. Eastern, I'll do it. If you could do it 3 p.m. Eastern, if you and your teammates and your opponents can delay an hour, or what is that, 2 hours? It's probably a little too late to ask, but I do have a spare time slot there. So anyone watching that's potentially playing, Okay, so queen here is a threat, but there's simply bishop block, and there's no time for rook here because of queen here. So knight just blocks the file, attacks the queen, prevents the check. Solid move all around. So we have two pieces versus a rook, which is good for Mahmoud. So yeah, they won a piece and then lost in exchange. So we'll see. This is still a game yet. 2 minutes though to about a minute. So time advantage as well for black. They make a flight square. Does white do the same? I would do the same. I don't like having back rank issues. So they make a flight square, but on the wrong side of the board. Flight square for the queen, you know. Well, no, actually, this isn't that bad of a move. The idea is to put the pawns on light squares, which is opposite color of the bishop. So queen steps aside, put a little pressure on a2, keeps the queen tethered. Rook takes another open file. This is still protected by the knight. The knight's tied, perhaps, a little bit. So, okay, offering queen trade. Do we have rook check? So we have a trade, and then rook check. That's actually really interesting. I wonder if we could have given the rook check. Yeah, rook c8 would have been something there. Maybe. Okay, a2's hanging. a7's hanging. Black happily trades this off. Now white's got the passed b pawn. Knight's going to come out with check, probably, and come here. A little pressure on the pawn. So the pawn's running. Pawn's putting on his tennis shoes. The knight doesn't give check. Doesn't want to help the king towards the center, I guess. So the knight's just going to continue attacking the pawn. The rook is hit. Can we go here? Or take the pawn or something? Andy's in time pressure again. Okay, so here, first and foremost, there's this pawn is hanging. So, okay, pawn defends the bishop. Can we push now? There it is. So now bishop takes f2, king f1, and now is white winning? I think they gotta take this, take the knight, and then bishop here. And now I think this should just be a draw. Although maybe black's a little bit better. So it's two pawns versus an exchange. King's here, pawn push, yeah. King here. No, king here now, yeah. And now, yeah, g6, preparing for f5. So there's f5, trade, king back. And yeah, gotta watch out for putting pieces on dark squares. There's a check, king here. King here, there's a check. But then king back over, 17 seconds. Okay. Pawn advance. This rook doesn't know where to go. So we got h3 on the board. Pawn on light square. Check, king back. The bishop's hanging. Don't hang the bishop, Mahmoud. Alright, so bishop advance. Rook backwards. Looking for some checks. We got f4, f5. Or f3. On tap. So, oh, Mahmoud's internet. Uh-oh. They got a minute, though. If the time was switched, that'd be really unfortunate, but let's see. Did they make it back in time? This is another reason why not to resign. Your players are from Bangladesh. You never know. Oh, no. Oh, no. Mahmoud. That's unfortunate. But the good news for UT Austin is that stops the bleeding. 1 point to 6, though. It's still looking grim for the Austin C team. Yeah. So Andy moves on to the next game. playing up against Saad. I have no idea what happened with the top board from Austin's team. I don't know if they played that last round or not. I'll have to see. Hold on. I'm curious. Okay, so Zihad beat Ojashi. So we'll give Zihad the 2 points as well. So Bangladesh is at 7-1. This is and the one that they lost was an internet disconnect. But Bangladesh, the good news for them is they only need 1 more point to at least go to overtime. They need 1.5 points to win the match. So here we got Masharov against Ojashi, top board from Austin C. The team leader from Bangladesh. We have Castle King side. And perhaps we're going to go for little fishing pole tricks here from Ojashi. We're going to leave the knight here. Try to see if Masharov has seen this one before. Okay, attacking this one. Queen takes, defending this. Yeah, I think Masharov is going to win this one. I think he's not going to fall for any of these tricks. But even now, I think he can just take that knight. Yeah, because now his queen takes back on g4. So that the after pawn takes, the knight doesn't have to move. And now the queen actually can't enter. That's the whole point of the fishing pole trick. Is that the knight moves and the queen enters. So, okay. There's no time for en passant. There was a trick in another game where the queen was here and there was en passant. That was really nice. So black gets this pawn here. Queen saves herself, gives check, bishop blocks, and now pressure on the knight. So what they want is to take the knight and then play here. But even that still doesn't work. There is queen here. You lose a pawn that actually is there. No, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, if pawn takes, you're probably mated. That's probably not good. So okay, queen check first. So either you block, you trade queens, or you move the king. So they move the king. Now there's bishop check. Now pawn check. And now rook check. Or queen check also. Okay. We run it. There's knight. Oh, knight check. Knight fork. It's so pretty. Knight e5. Is Masharov going to find it? He's got 4 whole minutes to do it. That's a nice check. That is a check. That's a check for for the ages. I mean, it wins you a piece. So I mean, like, okay, they save this. Now there's bishop takes, but knight check. Like, if they take, obviously we get the queen. If they move the king, we take the bishop, but then we lose our bishop. So like, it wasn't like amazing, but it was a nice touch. It was smooth. There's queen takes d5 now. Yeah. So black wants to come here and checkmate. So white's going to try to prevent that. You could just offer queen trade. Yeah. So blocking the queen out of the way. So, I mean, what do you do now? Back to d8. You could develop your last piece. You can give checks. Yep. This guy's coming in. Pawn push. Trying to come here. So the other matches to be streamed today, we have Austin's Benjami, thanks for the follow. We have UT Austin's A team versus Harvard's A team in Division 1. And then we have a Division 10. So we go from the top of the top to the bottom of the bottom. Division 1 to Division 10. We got UC Berkeley's F team versus Cornell's D team. We should have mate very soon, right? If not, picking up the exchange. Or the whole rook, actually. Yep. So this should be a fairly simple conversion for Mosharov. Yeah, this match was a bit lopsided. There's rook e6. And then there should be mate next. After queen blocks, there's rook takes f6 mate. All right. There it is. So Mosharov, 3 points. Bangladesh needs a draw to win the match. Almost, this would have probably been a sweep if there wasn't that game lost by abandonment. All right, so Firestone here, playing against Mamid. So Mamid got their internet back, I guess, which is good. Hopefully it stays strong throughout the rest of the match, but I think they only have 2 games left. Firestone still looking for their first point. Board 3 from Austin. 94. Opening up the way for the dark square bishop. So, yeah, white has the isolated pawn. So black's trying to blockade it with the knight for the time being. Rook opposite the knight. The knight's hanging actually by 2 discoveries. So 94 is kind of an interesting move. I don't know if it could be taken advantage of, though. Okay, let's look at Saad versus Andy. Andy's under a minute. Andy's been our hero so far for the Austin team. Not resigning. Fighting on. Getting wins by abandonment. What is rook e8? Okay, they just saved the rook. But now what? Queen takes a7? Yeah. There's queen takes b2, but then there's rook takes f7. So maybe, I don't know. The b6 pawn's also hanging, so yeah, this is a really tough spot for Andy. Vermin Dorsal is playing someone else. I don't know who they're playing. That is very interesting. Oh, after just to answer Recursive's question completely, after the UC Berkeley and Cornell Division 10 match, I have an hour break until Caltech versus Central Supelec in Division 3. Now we have resignation here. So Saad also 3 for 3, and that right there clinches the match for Bangladesh. So they will be moving on, and they will be facing the top team, which I believe, let me check. It's the French team, Université de Franche-Comté. Sciences et Techniques. Technique is, I don't know, the French team. It's one of the 2 French teams. We'll be watching the other French team later today. All right, so knight back. Bishop c4 helps defend. d4 also opposite the king. These knights are kind of funny, but knight should come here. Well, so the knight must have went here, pawn push, and the knight here to come here, I guess. We have a couple other games starting as well. We got Ojashi versus Saad, top boards. This is the 4th round match. Okay, bishop takes, pawn takes. So this is a good pawn structure for white. Queen's attacking that c6 pawn. So queen blocks, defends rather. I think a4, a5 could have been a good idea for white. But then I think they would go a5 first. Okay, so knight's getting in to c5. How do we take? Probably with the b pawn. Nope. Take with the d4 pawn. This does free up the d4 square for the knight or the bishop. But it does weaken e5 a little bit. But I do agree that taking with the b pawn, I think, kind of makes the position a little bit more stale, a little more stagnant. This way, we still have potential for like b5, perhaps. But also, yeah, the knight to d4 is a really nice move. Attacks a lot of pawns and the bishop. Also controls b5. Okay, bishop's trying to get rid of the knight. This knight is a defender of the light square. So the knight moves, but now knight d4. Okay, so h4 from white. Again, I like knight d4. Castling's also probably pretty solid. So knight d4, attacking the pawn. There is knight takes e5 though. Yeah, the e5 pawn's been weak. And there it goes. So the knight actually defends d6, but not for long. Pawn kicks it out. Is our bishop trapped? Can we go f6? Knight here hits the queen. Oh, and the knight's going to be such a monster on c4. So there's knight c4 check. King e2. Nope, king e1 instead. Okay, now trade queens. Queen takes, knight takes, hits the rook, and also hits e7. But again, that bishop on g5 is trapped, so I don't know if the players realize it. Vermin Dorsal has found their proper opponent. Or have they? They're playing someone else. Never mind. I lied. I don't know what Vermin Dorsal's doing. They aborted that game. Okay. So we did have knight check. King here taking the bishop. Pawn takes with discovery check. King moves. f2 and now f6 from black. There it is. White immediately responds back with g4. I think yeah, just take g4. That's a free pawn. Yeah, and sacrificing here I think is also a poor decision. I think what you want to do is force black to take on g5 so that white can take back, connecting their pawns. So okay, rook to e8 was a very interesting move from Saad. I think I would have taken the pawn, but I don't know. This is obviously completely winning. There's just rook f1 check. Very close to mate. There's only king g3. Okay. There goes that pawn. There's going to go the h pawn. So Josh is going to go down to the top board. Saad's going to go flawless, 4 for 4. Ooh, is rook checkmate? Yes, it is. All right, Saad. Well done. Strong performance from the top board. So yeah, if French Comte is watching, that's gonna be tough. Okay. Firestone lost to Mamid. So that's their second point. We got Andy again. Andy versus Masharov. Masharov also looking to go 4 for 4. Okay, Vermin Dorsal has finally found Mamid, the fourth board of Bangladesh. So that's their final round. Their last chance to get a point on the board. I must have missed Zihad's games. Zihad's now playing Firestone. Okay. But I don't know if I saw Zihad's game against Vermin Dorsal. But Vermin Dorsal's been playing all over the place, so I don't know what's happening there. I don't necessarily think it matters much for the match score. All right, so how's Masharov doing? How's Andy doing? These are the questions I should be answering. Instead, I'm answering questions on Discord. Okay. Oh. This is looking pretty good. I mean, this is hit, yes. Wow, Andy takes on e6. Andy, what a beautiful move. So if rook takes, queen takes. Threatening this as well as this. Masharov. Is Andy gonna pull off the upset win here? Alright guys, if Andy wins this, I'm gonna reverse the score. UT Austin wins. I'm just kidding. Alright, so rook takes, now queen takes f5. And now, are you getting mated if you save the rook? Is what I want to know. It doesn't look good. But definitely, ooh, taking here. That's not as good. It's really not as good as queen takes. Rook b1 though. Seems good actually. Look at these pawns. Look at this bishop. Bishop's a tall pawn. Rook b1. Rook b1's no longer nearly as good because now there's king here and our bishop is hanging. Oh, Andy, you had him on the ropes. You had him. Rook takes e6, such a beautiful move to be squandered. Okay, go back. Go back and go here. And you're threatening mate. Andy, you gotta watch back the game, man. Queen takes f5. So much better. So much better. Queen f5. Okay. Bishop c6 covering this, so there's not even the threat of that. Rook attacks this guy. Hard to defend, honestly. So, okay. Attacking this guy. So now we move the bishop. 45 seconds. Let's look at another game. We got Firestone versus Zahad. There goes a bishop with check. Let's see. The knight's hit, so the knight comes back. Even material here. F5 hitting the knight. This really does weaken E6 though. So probably knight G3 or knight D2. I don't know about knight D. Maybe knight D2 is not that bad. Looking at F3. And maybe G3 is not that good. So D2 it is. Now E6 is hanging. How does black respond? There's king F6. You walk the king up the center. There's rook defend. Nope, there's just pushing the pawn. So now, how about knight C4? No, here the E5 pawn is defended by the knight. Pawn hits the knight. Knight to D4. Maybe there's C5. Oh, but there's fork on E6. So probably black should move the rook on F8. Rook F to C8. No. Rook F to the E file or D file. No, not to D8. You don't want to save the fork to get forked again. So I feel like, oh, but if you go to E8, there's knight check and then knight C7 fork. So yeah, rook to C8 or B8. Yeah, Nicholas finds it. It's a good move from Nicholas. Bishop comes in now, attacking the rook. So the rook's going to have to be forced to move again. Maybe to the B8 square now. Oh, we have rook lift. So pawn push here for white. Maybe the threat. What if we take and go here? Probably wouldn't work. Give up 2 pieces for the exchange. Or for a rook, I should say. Okay, so now the bishop's hit. The bishop is defended by the knight though. So you don't necessarily have to move it. Bishop comes back. Oh my god, Andy, what did you do? Well, what did Masharov do? Takes. What a comeback from Andy. Andy, I mean, was winning, and then they done goofed. And then they get a pawn. It's even material here, both sides of the passer, and they just trade down. So now Masharov is up a pawn and gonna try to convert. Andy's got very low time. And black is making really good progress. Yeah, this is gonna be mate soon, actually. Rook here, just F2. Maybe not F2. There's rook A1, rook E1. 1 second. Oh, Andy was getting mated, couldn't stop it. So this was definitely a draw. The technique just wasn't there. Like here, maybe king E4 was better. I don't know. King E3 here. You probably should do rook H5. Okay, here. Yeah, you just let this guy walk up too much. Yeah, after this, I don't know. It's tough to say. But yeah, that's a 4 6-point sweep for Masharov, the team leader of Bangladesh. So the top 2 boards flawless today. Rook b8, perhaps. GG's, Zyle. GG's. Mamid beat Dorsal, so that's, I guess, at least 3 points for them. They did lose that one game to Andy, I believe. Nicholas only has 3 seconds here. I missed Zahad's game against Vermin, so I don't know what happened in that one. But, yeah, I don't think it matters too much. Oh, actually, I want to move on to the next match. They probably have started already, so let me try to unfollow these players, actually. And then try to find the next one. So, okay, Firestone might just lose this one here. Wait, but they're winning. Firestone's winning. Is White gonna... Oh, we have resignation. Wait. Oh, Firestone was with the black pieces. I thought... I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, but Zahad beats Firestone. Okay. So, at least 3 for them. I missed one of their games. But yeah, a crushing performance from Bangladesh. And they will be moving on to play against Université de France Comte